have to come? Only this one. Otherwise, geography, how many lessons over? Choco? Over?
No.
No.
It is going. Climate over.
Climate. Okay.
I have also.
That cold AC you want or
No,
this is comfortable, no?
Yeah.
Okay. I also don't know every morning. Noon time is okay, fine. That also after sometimes not. The thing is that I think from that class also that the light is coming from inside. This much.
Oh, yes.
Branchel
Absent.
not coming. What happened?
He has
He's
native
not.
place.
Huh?
Yes.
Native place. Okay. Let us start the journey. This journey is from the past to yearbook. Okay. When people started the settled life, what type of activity they engaged?
Farming.
Farming. Okay. Why they started farming as an activity?
So that people eat
They
and
can
survive.
earn money from that.
See, let us see. Imagine, okay. The people were wanderers. They wandered from place to place because they want only the food. So wherever they could get, they used to. So this way they traveled from one place to another. So on the way, whatever fruits or whatever they get, they used to throw the seeds. And afterwards also they continue the journey. Once that they reach that one end of that forest, then they started the return journey. They find the seeds they have thrown has grown into some plants. They realize that if we start growing, if we start planting, we can get. So they why we have to travel all the way around? Instead of that, we will settle. So that is how they started the settled life. So when they settled, they prefer to live on the banks of rivers so that they can get water, they can pour water to the plants and all. So like that, they started living in that banks of the rivers. So you studied in your earlier lessons, ninth standard, Harappan civilization or Indus Valley. That way only they settled on the banks of Indus River. So these people slowly and steadily started learning new lessons in their life. Means how they can improve their agricultural practices, how they can keep animals along with them, that is called the domestication of animals. This way, they change their lifestyle. That is how they started agriculture as an occupation. So when they started agriculture as an occupation, they need some kind of implements. They started making implements. Earlier they made implements with the stones and all. Then slowly they started making implements of copper. Then after the invention of iron, they made implements of iron. So like that, their life progressed. So on this journey, we will learn about different types of agricultural practices, how different types of crops are growing, and what are the climatic conditions required for the growth of different types of crops, everything. Okay, so when they have a settled life, they need good soil. That is what we have seen that on the banks of the river, the deposits of that river, fertile soil, they got water from that. And another thing, continuously growing that crops in the same soil lose the fertility, so they need to add fertilizers. So new techniques they devised. All these things we will learn about. Okay, so you got a background about how agriculture is practiced. Now, why this agriculture considered as the mainstay of Indian economy? The present day, if you are taking mainstay of Indian economy. Why agriculture is considered as the mainstay of Indian economy? Can you try? Think about it. This meaning you understood? Mainstay of Indian economy. What is the meaning?
We can earn money from it.
So you feel that that is money. That is I'm writing another word, income. Okay. Then anything else?
Consuming.
Consuming. That is source of food. Hmm? Then another anything? Have you heard that 66% of population engaged in agriculture? Main activity. Understood. 66% of the population engaged in agriculture. Next is that foreign earnings, foreign trade, export. So that way we will get a lot of income. This agricultural products are exported. Can you tell some of the products which we are exporting?
Yes.
Yes. Cotton, cash crops, cotton, jute,
rice.
tea, very good. Spices already you have done. Dry fruits. All these things we export. So it's a source of foreign trade. So when these all activities are taking place through agriculture, we are getting some kind of income. That means it is a main activity in which Indian people depend on. Understood? That is why we call it as the mainstay of Indian economy. Got it clear? So, it source of income, then it is a source of food for the people. 66% of the people engaged in agriculture directly and indirectly. Then it is a source of foreign trade. So like that, so many ways agriculture is very useful. Got it? Now, another important point we have to see. So if you are getting a question like why agriculture is important, how will you answer?
It contributes 17.32 by GDP.
What is GDP by the way? How we will get the gross domestic product?
It is obtained within this particular state or something like
Say
that.
it is that total produce in the form of goods and services. Sorry, goods and services produced in the country. See, we in our country so many goods are produced. Agricultural goods we have talked about. So many other goods, that is vehicles are automobiles are producing. So many other food products are producing. So everything in the form of goods and services. What services? Can you tell one example of services? Signal. So sitting in the theater, you are watching a movie, that is not a service. Service means that is transport is a service. Understood? So banking is a service. That kind of like that teaching is a service. It is not a social service. Okay. Service, there are social services are there free of cost. But when you are coming here, that is how did you come? By walking or by bus or by train? You can cycle. Okay, there is no service, but the road is there. No? Road is constructed by the government. So that construction is a service. So how did you come? By walking? Okay, okay. You walk. You scooter. So that also the Papa ke saath hai. Okay. You cycle. Oh, nobody used any service. I used service by train. I came. But before that auto to railway station and train. So that was so they provide a service. Now you understood what is service. So production of goods and services. Now you just imagine bread. Okay, bread is produced. So many varieties of bread is produced. So how many packets of bread is produced? So there is countless number. We don't know that is how many numbers. So for producing the bread, what is used? Wheat flour, then yeast. Very good. So many other ghee or whatever other materials, salt. So all these ingredients are used for making bread. Now, what is happening? The wheat is made into flour, and that are also different places, different bakeries it is made. So, if we are going to calculate how much wheat is used, where it is produced, so every calculation is a complex one. isn't it? So what we are doing, the final price, that is if we are purchasing that bits packet, means 40 rupees, no? I haven't purchased for a long. So 40 rupees. So how many that wheat bread packets are produced? So that is the final product. So in between, what all things are used, we are not calculating. We are calculating the final product. How many packets? So 40 into 10,000. So that much is the that bread produced. So the same way, whatever products are there, final products price is added together. The same way, what all services are there, all that the services final value is calculated. So that we can get a GDP. That is what a total goods and services produced in the country. Got it? GDP is the final value of the total goods and services produced. Otherwise, if you go to calculate everything, so much calculation and we never get. You just imagine you got 1,000 rupees. So this 1,000 rupees you spend on various purposes. So if you sit and start writing that how you spend, where you spend, sometimes you never remember. In between, you had vada pav, you had something, you just purchased juice or like that. So everything, if you try to calculate, it will not match with that. This is how the wear and tear take place in between whatever we are using. Sometimes double or triple time the calculation will take. So what we are doing? Final goods and services produced. So you told about the GDP. Is it clear? What is GDP? Now, what is the other one? Eh? GVA. What is the GVA?
Gross value addition.
Gross value addition. So what is that value addition in the product? You cannot eat meat as it is. When it is converted into a useful product, value is added to that. So that is what the next one. Next point, what is that? So here you just mark that points. What are the importance of agriculture?
Ma'am, but you told that employment of 66% of population.
Ah.
Here it is 58%.
See, it always varies directly and indirectly. Earlier it was 85%, but we know that there are people. See, if I am having a farmland, so what is that? I am engaged in farming indirectly. Otherwise, I am having an employment. I am indirectly engaged in that. So that is also a source of income for me. Understood? That way, about 65-66% are directly and indirectly engaged. We cannot tell exactly this much percentage. Many of the people, your parents also may be having land. That land also yield some income, but directly not engaged in. Understood? Yes. Importance of agriculture have we taken? So that points you mark, it provide food for our expanding population and fodder for our livestock. What is fodder? Cattle feed. Okay. It is we know that after the harvesting of the crops, whatever we get, that is given as the feed for the cattle. Next, it generates working capital for non-agricultural development. What is non-agricultural development?
Cities, that's where the agriculture is not happening, but development is happening.
We can say city.
Maybe cities. Definitely city.
At the same time, there are some industries which are agro-based, agriculture-related industries are there. Agricultural products are used indirectly in that industry. So, for example, sugar cane. So, sugar cane is not directly used by us. Hardly one piece we can use. Otherwise, this is converted into gur, sugar, etc. Okay. So, this agro-based industries, agricultural, provide raw material. Next. It provides large part of the markets for industrial goods, especially the farm inputs like fertilizers, pesticides, implements, machinery. So, agriculture and industry are complementary to each other. So, industries provide its finished products to agriculture, machinery, pesticides, fertilizers. So they are the finished products of industries. So these are the raw materials for agriculture. So they complement each other. Next, it accounts for substantial portion of India's exports. It provides employment to millions of people. Okay, got it? What are the importance? Then commodities such as tea, cotton and jute textiles, tobacco, cashew nut, oilseeds and spices are exported. So we have seen that a foreign trade export, it is useful. Then agriculture provides raw material to agro-based industries such as raw cotton for cotton textiles, jute, sugar, tobacco, etc. Okay. Agricultural products being a source of income prevent an unnecessary shift of population from rural to urban areas. See, we know that there is an inflow of people from village to urban areas. Why this inflow is there? In search of jobs. So, if agriculture is there in the village areas, some people will stay back. We know that yesterday night and today early morning, our northern borders are in very uh, much disturbed state, that is war like a condition. Have you read that it is? So our military personnel are engaged in that war. Now retaliation will come. So you just imagine the people who were living in that part. Can they engage in agriculture? They were given warning that not to come out of your houses. So this way, there is a fear factor in that all regions, not only in that Kashmir, even that the borders of Rajasthan, Punjab, and all, also that kind of situation. So what the people will do? Their life is in tension. So this way, the people earlier migrated from that villages to cities in search of jobs. People thought that okay, they can have a living with agriculture and stayed back. If this kind of condition persists, it will affect the people of the whole country. You might have heard that there is drill, that is alarms today. So what to be done? Not to come out. Then all this, don't be panic. So much warnings are given. You imagine the people who are living in that areas. So this kind of condition, people think that okay, whatever we are having, we will get satisfied. So such way the people engaged in agriculture and were living. So it provide a livelihood. So it prevent the people from moving from rural to urban areas. Got it? So agriculture is helping that way. Next is that it is a source of income. Already we have discussed. Next one is that next. Can you agriculture is facing certain problems. Normally, this question used to come. What are the problems faced by Indian agriculture? Can you tell what type of problems Indian agriculture is facing?
Heavy rainfall constantly.
Heavy rainfall. Which region are getting that heavy rainfall?
Coastal.
Coastal.
See, we know that you have learned about the climate, no?
Yes.
In that lesson, you learned about different seasons. Which season India is getting rainfall? You tell.
July to September.
June to September. Huh? June to September is the rainy season, or what? It is the advancing monsoon season. So we tell that this is an experience we had after observing about 35 years of climate or study of climate. But nowadays, if you are saying, are we getting the rainfall exactly in the month of June? Are we getting that much rainfall which earlier used to get? So there is a climate change. Okay. So some regions are getting more rainfall, some regions are getting less rainfall. So we can say uneven distribution of rainfall. Not too much rainfall, uneven distribution. So when there is uneven distribution, what will happen? It will affect the agriculture. Imagine when the crop is ready to harvest, that time heavy showers. That the crop will fall down and it cannot be harvested, it is of no use. That will affect the farmer. Isn't it? But, and sometimes when it is about the shoots are coming, that time, if rain is coming, that is also bad for you. So like that, Indian farmers mostly depend on the climate or monsoon. And if monsoon fails, that will affect the crop. So like that, so many conditions are there. The first one is that environmental factors. Okay, we will write under environmental factors. In that, so many are coming. What are the environmental factors? You just tell. You say environmental factors under that heading, so many are there. So first one is unreliable rainfall. What is one point we will discuss. Okay, unreliable. We cannot fully depend upon earlier. Farmers used to depend completely on rainfall. They used to eagerly wait for the monsoon to come, especially let us take the case of Maharashtra and all. Maharashtra, what type of soil is there? Black soil. See, this black soils have to be tilled just before the monsoon. Pre-monsoon showers itself, otherwise it will be clayey, sticky. So they will clear the soil before, till the soil before, and the first monsoon itself they sow the seeds. If it is delayed, they cannot do. Like that, unreliable. I used to remember in my childhood, we used to eagerly wait for that rain. That is, first June means rain at any cost will come. But nowadays, June it will not come, or sometimes it may come late. So we cannot exactly depend upon or rely upon rainfall. That is one of the environmental factors which affect the farmers. Did you get to that point? We can write this explanation of unreliable rainfall or underline that point. Just the Indian farmers are dependent to a large extent on the monsoons, which are very uncertain, unequally distributed, and unreliable. This point is clear. What is unequal distribution? Some regions get a heavy rainfall. See, Kerala. Kerala is getting rainfall from January onwards. Now also it is raining. Some regions are having disastrous type of condition. But a monsoon did not come. So like that, that region is getting. On the other places, recently Delhi got heavy rainfall. Some regions we are experiencing. Yesterday we got a light showers. That is why today is little bit okay. So some places are still burning like in that Madhya Pradesh, UP, and Rajasthan, parts of Rajasthan, they are facing extreme heat. That is 50. So this unequal distribution. When the rain come also, that part will get a less rainfall, other parts will get more rainfall. That regions will get a flood-like situation, other regions drought. So this is what a uneven, unreliable condition, unequal distribution. Okay? First point is clear. Now second point,
Lack of irrigation facilities.
we know that farmers mostly depend on irrigation if rainfall is irregular. Some states, then later lessons you will study about that one. Some places tank irrigation is there, especially South India. North India is having well irrigation and other sources, even canal irrigation is there. Some ponds are having groundwater. So, irrigation facilities are little bit there. But there are regions where source of groundwater is not that much. Rajasthan, because of that Indira Gandhi canal, now some kind of help is there. Otherwise, as it is a desert type of region, nothing could have been grown. So, this groundwater level is depleting. Because of that, there is lack of irrigation facilities in many regions and they could not grow crops. Okay, now third point,
Soil erosion.
soil erosion. This is also the after effect of heavy rain. Sometimes when there is heavy rain, the soil gets washed off. And the top soil get eroded and the finer particles got washed off and only that big particles left out. So can we grow anything in such kind of soil? And in the desert, another type of soil erosion is the wind. So any part if you are taking, they are facing the problem of soil erosion. So the top soil get eroded and agriculture get affected. Okay. Next.
Demand for food. The methods of cultivation.
But this is also coming in environmental factors.
Yes.
See, when you are writing all that is main topics and subtitles you have to write. So if you are asked what are the technological problem and you are writing this one, no. Huh? So be careful about it. Methods of cultivation. How methods of cultivation is a problem? Can you try? Your book is different or not? Huh?
Yes.
Sure. All the things are there, no? These problems are not given, no? Ah, yes, it is. Hmm. Not in that order. That is it. Ah, yes. What is that problem methods of cultivation? Use. Yes. Use of fertilizers.
When it was in ancient times, the population was not so much, and now it is increased. The way is the same, so the production is the same, and hence it is not for everyone. It is not sufficient for everyone.
Then how it is linked with the method of cultivation?
That the method was ancient.
Ancient.
Also,
The methods India is using that are not enough, while other countries have other ideas.
See, for that, I'll tell you one that story, guys. Okay, one Mr. Kumaran. Okay, I am just telling about a person. Mr. Kumaran was having that is 5 acres of land. Hmm? This person was having 6 children. Now, this 5 acre was distributed among that 6 children. Now, this 5 acre, when it is distributed, hardly 0.75 each person will get. Okay. Now, one of the son of Mr. Kumaran was okay, I am telling one Surya. This person was having 0.75, but the person is again having 3 sons. 0.75 was divided among that 3 sons. So 0.25. What he can do on that land? So earlier, when Kumaran's time, 5 acre was there, he could use that even tractor. Imagine that time, if tractor was there, tiller was there, harvester was there, imagine. Okay. But when Surya's time comes, Surya got a 0.75 acre and his son got a 0.25. Can he use any type of modern implements? Can he use any high yielding varieties or seeds or anything on that? A very small piece of land. This is what one of the main problem we are facing. So I am just writing fragmentation. So modern means of agriculture is not possible in the fragmented land. So still continuing old methods, old implements, and we are expecting more crops.
Yes.
So in that case, Without the use of modern means of cultivation or high yielding varieties of seeds, then lack of irrigation facilities already we have studied. So still the yield is very low. And the demand for food is increasing. So, old and outdated methods of cultivation.
Yes.
In between, we have learned about the green revolution. But the green revolution is applied only in Punjab, Haryana, and Western Rajasthan. All the regions it is not possible. Say, like this kind of small pieces of land, it is not possible. So this is what the methods of cultivation. Got it? Next. Okay. See, when we got independence, our agricultural production was very low and India faced a lot of famines. So many millions of people died. So they did not bother about the death of Indian people. But once we got independence, our prime concern was to provide or to feed the people of India. Maximum food to be given. So for that, the first 5-year plans and all, they gave priority to increase the food production. So that we should be self-sufficient in our food production. You see that British introduced cash crops like indigo and other things. Have you heard about indigo?
Yes.
So indigo we cannot use. It is a color dye.
And it also makes the land fertile after it's
That plant grows so deep and take away that the fertility of the soil. It is of no use to the people. And when food need is the people, Indians have to find out. So more demand for food crops than cash crops. That is what the next important point. User reduction in net scope area. Have you heard about this word net zone area? What is see in order to understand that the net that I will give you one example. Say if one person is working, that he is getting a salary. If that person's salary is 1,20,000, I'm just giving. So there are so many deductions in salary. Deduction, PF and other taxes and all. So the deduction is 20,000 and he is getting 1 lakh at hand. Okay, so this is what we call net. So this one is total. The same way, the total land which could be cultivated is gross zone area and the particular agricultural season, how much land is brought under cultivation is net zone. Clear? So in this case, 1,20,000 is the salary, but he is getting 1 lakh in hand, so that is the net. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now, environmental problems are clear, no?
Yes.
You just, that is 5-10 minutes, you take a video and then you will see the whatever we have. Huh? Not a big, who can do? Indian agriculture.
War has already started over there. Last night only.
Different places, no? 27 places.
Which should be?
Huh?
Which should be?
27 different sports back
In
Pakistan.
Pakistan.
Terrorist
clubs.
Bigger clubs like this next lesson only.
Class
So-
10
No,
it is not
It's
search is
systematic.
where class 10 knowledge. I see.
Importance as a problem, sir. This is okay.
Study is teaching.
Teaching only.
What is soils of India?
Soil. Soil, no. Soil is different as well, no? Agriculture in India.
वो science.
Science.
Zero science. CBSE के बना someone is teaching me on. Someone is teaching it.
No.
I told like
Only that problems.
अरे हाँ six figure going to the may I done this these agriculture अरे तरुण रूपानी मत
अरे CBSE का है वो CBSE
इसलिए भी agriculture है
Agriculture,
हाँ वैसे agriculture
CBSE also very much
अरे सर तरुण रूपानी का नाम
We will continue with that and afterwards.
I want it. Yes. Click.
Yes.
For sure. Yes. Good.
Watch it. The different. I will make you to stop it. See now. ये CBSE का है.
अच्छा
After discussing this institutional and economic factors. Okay. Next on area you understood, no?
Yes.
Now what is the second course?
Institutional factors.
Small and fragmented.
You tell small and fragmented nanovoltage.
Now, what is the meaning of institutional?
I'm fragmented nanovoltage. See, when we talk about institutional factors, land as an institution, what type of problems are there? See, I have told you earlier time, lot of land was held by individual farmers. because Zemindars were there and so many rich landowners were there. Now, after the independence, government have taken so many steps. What were the steps? One is that a consolidation of fragmented lands. That is, small and fragmented lands were brought together, and rich landholders' land, surplus land was taken and distributed to the landless. So then also majority of the farmers were not having ownership of it. So land as an institution, these all problems are faced. One is small and fragmented land. Already I have given one example. So when it comes to that lesser persons, that is children to children, they are getting very small piece of land, and that also different places. So agricultural methods, that is better methods, could not be adopted. That is what the first institutional factor. Institutional factor is clear to you. Land as an institution, what type of problems are faced? First one is small and fragmented land. What is the second?
Exploitation of farmers.
See, farmers were exploited by not getting proper price for their products. At the same time, they're not having the right to take a decision, because there are intermediaries called as Zemindars. Have you heard about the Zemindars? So they were the intermediaries. So these small poor farmers were not having any ownership rights. Decision making power is not there. So they were not getting good quality crops to grow on their field, and not getting good prices for their products. So several ways the farmers are exploited. Okay. Next.
Economic factors.
What are the economic factors?
Subsistence agriculture.
Subsistence. Okay. I thought that what you are telling is subsistence. What is subsistence? So farmers are producing crops for their family needs. If that family is having 5 members, they are producing food grains for the needs of that family, not for selling purpose. That is what is subsistence farming. Did you get the meaning? So it is the opposite of commercial. Commercial farming is that crops are produced for selling purpose. So most of the farmers are able to produce the crops for their family needs. So they engage in subsistence agriculture. That is the challenge. Did you get the meaning? Clear or not?
Yes.
Now next. What is the next?
Human elements.
Human elements. Okay, what is human element? You tell me.
Negligence.
Then?
You only told us that zamindars and landlords. That is only written.
See, now here, semi-direct system has been abolished. But still there are rich landowners who interfere in that farmer's life. So government abolished that system, that is no more practicing. But in certain areas like Andhra Pradesh, then North Indian states and all, rich landowners are there. So what they are doing, the poor farmers, let us imagine one poor farmer, he is having a small plot of land. For doing agriculture, his mainstay, that means the main occupation is farming. So for every agricultural activity, he has to depend upon somebody else for loans. In that CBSE syllabus, 10 standard syllabus, no, 9 standard syllabus, economics, there is a one case study given. One poor farmer named Savita. She is having 1 hectare of land. You see that 1 hectare of land is large. Still, she is considered as a poor farmer because she is not having any other source of income. Okay. Now, 1 acre of land. Sorry, hectare, no, acre of land. Now, she is having 3 children. In order to do that agricultural activity, she has to take a loan that is from a rich farmer named the Tejpal. So she had taken a loan of 3,000 rupees. So this 3,000 rupees she got on a condition that is 24% interest for 4 months. Agricultural season maximum for 4 months. You see that 3,000 rupees, 24% interest for 4 months. And one more additional condition is that she should work in Tejpal Singh's field during the time of harvesting. You just see that all the agricultural activities have to be taken place simultaneously. So her harvest also she has to do. She has to take care of her family, the 3 children are there. Then she has to also work on Tejpal Singh's field. This is what majority of Indian farmers are facing. Taking loan from that either money lenders or landowners, then high interest they have to pay. They have to take care of their land as well as to work on that land. So this is what the human factors. So landowners used to exploit them as these poor farmers were not having any source of income. Whereas rich farmers, they have many other sources. Imagine that a rich farmer is having tractor. This tractor is giving it on rent to other farmers. So that rent will get good harvest means so much grains are there that will be sold in the market. Like this Savita, 10 more farmers he gave loan, the interest of that. So their condition is 100% better, whereas poor farmers had to suffer a lot. This is what I elements here. Is this clear? This point clear? Now what is the fourth?
Challenges posed by globalization.
That is the have you heard about the word globalization? What is globalization? No?
No.
See, globalization means that the world is made into an international market. Now you can go to your next nearby shop. You will get the brand of items which are manufactured in America, Europe, or any other country. If you want to purchase an Apple iPhone, you can get in the nearby shop. Earlier, was it available? So that also competitive prices. This is what globalization. The world is made into an international market. Now, how it affected the Indian farm? If you imagine, we as farmers, you are not farmers, but imagine, are we able to sell our produce to America? Because we are not that much competitive to sell our products. Our products are not having any brand name. So how can we make our products marketed in international market? This is what the impacts of globalization. Only those competitive things can be having market. Not all the products. Now, Apple iPhone is having brand name. So people will go and demand for it if they are having money. But the product a farmer is producing is not having any brand name. How he can introduce himself as a great farmer? How he can tell that my products are of good quality? Hundreds of quality tests he had to undergo. Then also foreign countries will reject because it is not according to that standards. So that is what the impact of globalization. Priya,
Yes.
next.
Technological factors.
10 more.
20 minutes more.
9 o'clock, no? Okay. No, yesterday when I was taking class, no, I was not aware of that. The time gone and a little break thinking. So beautiful. Technology. What is technological factors? Introduction of new technology. So, what is that? High yielding varieties of seeds, use of chemical fertilizers, then irrigation facilities,
Machines.
machines, then pesticides and other insecticides and all. So these all things, when we are using, what is the problem the farmer is facing? One problem is that his land is very small sized land. He cannot introduce these all things in that small piece of land. Second is that if this chemical fertilizers and other things are used, the land quality will get deteriorated. Continuous use of this one will deteriorate the land. So, without knowing the proper method, a small farmer cannot introduce the technological reforms on his field. After using also, we have to face so much losses. Clear? I think another thing is that old and outdated technologies some farmers are still using. So if old and outdated technology is using, what happened? The quality of the product, quality means the quality as well as quantity deteriorate. Same field. I have seen in my childhood that farmland, how they are growing. So what they used to do in our place, people used to gather that leaves, dry leaves, gather, and heaps are made and burn it. So when we as children we used to see fire is coming. Then nice it was. So then the ashes used to spread by the wind. It used to spread over. That is different places. The leaves used to be there, and it was given fire, and the ashes will be spread. And next day, what they used to do, dry cow dung used to be spread along with that. Then they make that land ready to plant the crop. So that way they used to do that agriculture, and mainly what crop used to. Have you heard about the tapioca?
Sabura.
Not sab, maybe made of that, but the tapioca is that is underground root crop. Okay, people used to grow that tapioca on that field. So for a long time, we have seen nice, good tapioca from that. Afterward, the size of tapioca used to be very thin. So, what is that? Continuously using the same method without using chemical fertilizers, the land quality deteriorate. This is what faced by many of the farmers, old and outdated technology. Clear? So we have learned all the problems faced by Indian farmers. Got it? When you are writing, that means you have to write one this thing, and subheadings also. One sentence you have to explain.
Okay.
No need to explain elaborately, at least clarify. Say, for example, unreliable rainfall, what it is. So that way, clarity to be there. If you are writing only this heading, you will not get it. So, you change slightly in your writing pattern. Sometimes when you are getting your paper back, you are not getting sufficient mark. This may be the problem. Okay? Soil erosion. So only soil erosion. You don't know, I don't know what is soil erosion. So you have to clarify. All these challenges or all these problems you understood. Now what is the next topic?
Reform solutions.
Textbook also that one is there now. Reforms. Ah. Now she will take that. What are the reforms taken to improve that agriculture?
There is something called the Green Revolution.
Green revolution. What is green revolution?
It is the greatest revolution in the country which is said to transform the economy from food scarcity to food self-sufficiency.
Okay, I have told you when we got independence, the most important challenge was to provide food grains to all the people. Because we had faced several famines. One of the famine which occurred in the Bengal famine, not one time, three times Bengal famines occurred. 13 million people died. So this kind of famines we had experienced. So when we got independence, our that administrators have taken a strong decision that if further in future we will not have such kind of famines. So our main aim is to attain self-sufficiency. In order to increase the self-sufficiency or in order to achieve self-sufficiency in food grains, one method was adopted which is called a green revolution. It is a package approach. Package approach means it consists of several things together, not one. First one is that the use of high yielding variety of seeds. High yielding variety of seeds. Do you know what is high yielding variety? More yield. That means one crop or one plant, more production to be there. That is what a high yielding. Understood? So introduction of high yielding. There are crops which are giving high yielding, then high quality. Have you heard about this thing basmati rice?
Yes.
So basmati rice is high quality, not a high yielding. There are other type of varieties of rice which is producing more amount. Huh? So this one high yielding variety of crop. Did you get it clarified? Clear? Introduction of high yielding variety of seeds. Now, use of chemical fertilizers. Then, controlled irrigation. Then, pesticides and all. All these things together, if you are using, then only good production will come. So, that method is known as green revolution. It was a revolution in agricultural production. So whatever crops they used to get earlier, when it was introduced for the first time, 3 times that the production increased. So within no time, that the food problem was solved, and we started getting excess production. So that is why it is known as a revolution. Revolution in agriculture. Is it clear? Hmm? Okay. So one is green revolution. Now next one, you need to do sleepy because I am asking. Second change. Huh? Then
Impact on Indian agriculture.
no reforms only so many. This thing is that the first reform is
That
that.
is also a reform.
Ah, yes. This one agricultural research ICSE.
Green revolution was first and this is second.
Okay. Then you tell me what is the impact?
That's when comes the answer what is great.
You read it now.
It enabled Indian agriculture to change from subsistence to commercial and market oriented.
Yes. I have told by introducing green revolution, agricultural production increased. So earlier farmers were producing for their subsistence only, their family needs only. Now from subsistence to commercial, it transformed. What is that? They could sell in the market or they produce for selling in the market. And now market oriented production. They are producing mainly for selling in the market. Earlier, if extra was there, then only they used to sell. Now their production itself is market oriented. That is what the impact on Indian agriculture. Got clear? Now, next one.
It led to the development of intensive agricultural production system that increased production and paved the way for self-sufficiency in respect of food grains.
Okay, intensive agriculture. See, this part, the different methods of agriculture we will study. Intensive, extensive, subsistence, commercial, all these methods are there, I think so. So intensively, say, if a farmer is having a small plot of land, this maximum production from that land they have to get. For that, the land is intensively cultivated. Why? There is lot of population pressure. So available land have to be utilized to the maximum. From that piece of land, they should get a maximum production. That is what the intensive cultivation. Understood? It is mostly labor intensive. That is, they cannot use that machines on that, machines like tractors, tillers, etc. So they use that land maximum with the help of workers or laborers. So that kind of intensive cultivation. Got it? Then another maximum returns they use, they got, it increased rural prosperity. What is the meaning of rural prosperity? Earlier people used to suffer, that is food grains were insufficient. Now they were able to get more, so that village itself started develop, rural areas develop. That is what richness. Richness, exactly, it is not a richness. They grow, they flourish. Earlier, food grains was not there. Now they have sufficient food grains. That is what it led to rural prosperity. Clear? Next, national
agricultural policy.
This is again taken after that independence. It include land reforms plus technological reforms. What is that reforms? Earlier, people were eagerly waiting for that monsoon. They were not having any idea about that when it will come and what way it will go. Now, special weather bulletins are there. Agricultural research centers were established, and Kisan credit cards and other facilities were given. So the farmers get the benefit by introducing this agricultural policy. Okay, you just read this one, National Agricultural Policy. Read loudly. Textbook it is not there. It is there.
अरे पर बुक अलग है वो
No, no.
वो प्रीवियस से टेक्स्ट बुक
अरे लेकिन ये है, ये देखना.
छोड़ना करना है
हाँ.
The Union government announced the national agriculture policy anyway, envisaging over 4% growth rate per annum. The policy seeks to promote technology.
So first one, it aims at increasing 4% production. That means increasing the production. That was the main aim of that government's plan. And we know that every year budget when they are preparing. So they used to make that policy change that this year agricultural production should increase by 4%. Okay. Now,
the policy seeks to promote technically sound, economically viable, environmentally non-degrading, and socially acceptable use of country's natural resources, land, water, and genetic endowment to promote sustainable development of agriculture.
So the primary aim is sustainable development. What is sustainable development? Have you heard this word?
Yes.
Environment. The environment friendly. That is not to damage the environment. If you are using so much chemicals and pesticides and other things, that will damage the environment. There's a place in Kerala, Karnataka border. So that particular place, cashew nuts are there. So these cashew nuts, they used to spray that chemical in order to that they can kill that pesticides. That chemical was very dangerous. The children who are taking birth and those type of vehicles sections, that is women and all, they are born as physically challenged people. There are so many kind of deformities to the people. That was an impact of that chemicals and pesticides. It is not the problem of that region only. There are so many other places. This type of after effects are there. So, in order to increase the production and to destroy the pest, people use these all things. But it is harming the environment. Human also face impacts. So that is why this program aimed at sustainable development, that is without damaging the environment. At the same time, present day development should not compromise with the future. We should not compromise the future resource. Only today development is not required, that is future also the development should continue. So this is what is sustainable development. So here environment friendly, then non-degrading and socially acceptable changes to be introduced. Got this point? Underline that point. Next, what are the salient features?
Salient feature of the policy are annual growth rate of 14%.
4%, na? 4%.
Private sector participation to be promoted through contract farming and land leasing.
What is the meaning of this one? See, private government earlier used to give subsidies. Earlier I told about one word globalization. When globalization was introduced, that World Bank gave issue orders to the governments, stop giving subsidies to the farmers. Subsidies in the sense that the fertilizers and all at subsidized rates. Farmers cannot afford purchasing that costly fertilizers and all. So for agricultural activity, these all things are given at a subsidized rate. So if that thing is available for 200 rupees in the market, that at a reduced rate, the government will provide to the farmers. That is 100 rupees. So this cannot be afforded by that people, that is 200 rupees. So subsidy was given. But the World Bank suggested no, you cannot give subsidies. So here, government cannot give further subsidies to the farmers. That is why private partnership was given. That will be done.
थोड़ा थोड़ा समझा मेरे को
Have you studied Harapan civilization? Yeah.
अरे यार कितने में रखे देखते हैं देख मैं हाथ